What if tomorrow, the sun never rose again? An asteroid crashes into Earth with the power of 1,000 nuclear bombs. Cities get erased, oceans begin to boil. Forests burn. Ash fills the skies. Darkness swallows the world. And for the next 50 years, Earth is locked in an endless winter. This is not the end of the world. This is the beginning of the eternal night. And here's how humanity might survive it. The asteroid Apophis will come near Earth on Friday, the 13th of April 2029. What if it hit Earth? It will begin with silence. No alarms, no warnings, just a streak of fire across the heavens. The asteroid, KT 2.0, will tear through the sky and plunge into the Pacific Ocean with the force of 1,000 nuclear wars. The sea will not roar, it will boil, vaporize in an instant. The ocean will rise into the air, billions of tons of water and molten rock hurled into the stratosphere. The impact will shake the Earth to its bones, but the true horror will not be the blast. It will be what followed. That vaporized ocean will spread, drifting like a poisoned shroud across the globe. At first, the skies will dim, then darken, then collapse into blackness. The sun, gone. Within weeks, daylight itself will be nothing more than a memory. And under that suffocating blanket of dust, the world will begin to die. Temperatures will plummet by 30 degrees in the first month alone. Cities will be buried in ice. Farmlands will wither into wastelands. Rivers will freeze, oceans will harden, and every breath of wind will carry the bite of a new ice age. Scientists will call it impact winter. But humanity will know it by another name, the eternal night. The asteroid will not simply strike the Earth. It will strike at our future, at our hope, at everything we believe makes the world safe. And when it comes, nothing will ever be the same again. If the skies above you turned black tomorrow, if the sun itself gets stolen for 50 years, what would you do to survive? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. 1 year after impact, the Earth will no longer belong to the living. Forests that once roared with life will stand as graveyards. Trees, blackened, skeletal. Their frozen branches clawing at a sky that never turns blue. Cities, once alive with the heartbeat of millions, will transform into icy mausoleums. Skyscrapers, those proud monuments of progress, will rise like frozen spears, jagged reminders of a world that used to be. The oceans, the very lungs of the planet, will lock in silence. Rivers will halt mid-current, frozen in place, as if time itself has stopped. Underneath, the deep waters will suffocate, lifeless, a silent abyss where nothing moves. And then comes the collapse, the unraveling of life itself. First, the plants. The foundation of all existence will wither into nothing. With no light, photosynthesis will cease, and the Earth will lose its green forever. The herbivores will fall next, their bones buried beneath ice. Then, the predators, once kings of the wild, will starve, mutate, or tear each other apart. By the end of that first year, 90% of everything that once lived will vanish. And the survivors, they won't face armies or monsters born of legend. Their war will be waged against 3 relentless executioners. The cold, gnawing through flesh, through bone, until movement itself becomes impossible. The dark, pressing down, a silence so thick it unravels the mind. And the hunger, the slowest, cruelest killer of them all, that gnaws endlessly from within. This is not survival against nature. This is survival against the very absence of it. Only the few who endure will see another dawn beneath the eternal night. So I'll ask you, in a world where light will vanish, where warmth will betray you, and where hunger will be the only constant, could you survive? Hit the like button as your indication that you'll be ready to survive. The eternal night will be merciless. It will strip away every comfort, every illusion, until survival is reduced to 4 brutal laws. They are not suggestions, they are not guides, they are commandments carved into the bones of the dying world. Break them, and you will vanish into the snow. The first enemy is not hunger, not thirst, not even time. It is the cold. It will not strike like lightning, it will creep. A slow, merciless thief that starts at your fingertips, turns your breath into mist, then seeps into your bones. At first, you will shiver. Then your teeth will chatter. And finally, you will go still, lulled into sleep by the cruelest lie of all, that warmth is returning. Survivors will learn desperation fast. Books will no longer be stories, they will be fuel. Photographs, once sacred memories, will burn like brittle paper ghosts. Tables, chairs, and cribs will collapse into firewood. The glow of flames will be more valuable than gold. But fire is fleeting. The lucky few will cling to geothermal vents or bubbling hot springs, natural furnaces, exhaling life into the darkness. Around these places, tribes will form, guarded with claws and knives, because warmth is power, and without it, the cold will claim you before hunger ever has the chance. The second enemy is hunger. It will gnaw at you from the inside until you forget everything else. At first, survival will taste like rust and dust, cans of sardines decades old, soup congealed into salt lumps, packets of rice eaten raw. Each discovery will feel like a miracle, but every bite is a countdown. The shelves of the old world will empty. And then, the real hunt will begin. The rats will grow fat in the ruins, black birds will circle frozen cities, feeding on what people leave behind. Survivors will track them through snow, set snares in the ruins, boil bones into thin broth just to steal a few drops of life. Snow will melt into water cupped in trembling hands. Cloth scraps will become filters. Plastic wrappers will be boiled, scraped, repurposed until nothing is wasted. In this new world, a single crumb will mean everything, and those who waste will starve. The third enemy is not what you see, it is what you don't. The eternal night will swallow every horizon. You will walk with shadows pressing against your skin. Your torch will feel like salvation, until you realize it's also a beacon. The glow will scream into the dark, "Here I am," and the dark will answer. Predators, desperate strangers, things that hunger for light itself. Some will learn to walk without fire, guided only by sound and memory. Fingers brushing along walls, steps counting their own rhythm. Others will carry dim lanterns of glowing fungi, spheres of pale green light plucked from caves like fragile stars. Faint enough not to call predators, bright enough to keep despair away. And so, the lesson will carve itself into you. Light is hope, but it is also danger. Every time you strike a match, you must ask yourself, do I want to be seen? And then, the final enemy. The one no one wants to face. It will not come as a storm. It will not creep like frost. It will wear a familiar face. When food runs out and fires burn low, strangers will not be allies. They will be competitors. Some will beg, others will deceive, and many will kill. Settlements will rise behind barbed wire, barricaded with scavenged steel and shattered glass. Fires will burn not for warmth, but as warnings. This place is taken. Camps will fight like armies over crates of canned beans, friendships snapping like brittle twigs under the weight of desperation. Trust will collapse. Families will shrink into fortresses of blood and bone. And every handshake will be a gamble. Every smile could hide a knife. Because even in the eternal night, the most dangerous predator will not be the cold, or the hunger, or the dark. It will be us. The eternal night will stretch on, decade after decade. Ice will bury cities. Forests will crumble to ash beneath the snow, and oceans will wear a frozen crown. But even in this endless winter, humanity will carve out sparks of defiance. Deep beneath the ruins of the old world, light will return in the strangest of places. Subway tunnels, once filled with the roar of trains, will glow again, this time with rows of underground greenhouses. UV lamps will hang like artificial suns, humming with fragile energy, bathing pale leaves in an otherworldly violet glow. Steam will rise from pipes carrying geothermal warmth, keeping soil alive in a world that should be dead. Down here, the scent of damp earth will replace the stench of frost. A harvest will grow, not much, but enough. In these caverns, new communities will rise. Families will cook over makeshift stoves, walls will be lined with scrap metal for warmth, and children will learn to laugh again. Softly, cautiously, but genuinely. The sound of their laughter will echo against the stone, like a rebellion against the silence above. In the midst of despair, a child's cry at birth will ring out, a promise that humanity has not surrendered. Above ground, the world will remain a tomb of ice. Skyscrapers will stand like jagged spears, coated in frost. Cars will lie buried in frozen drifts. The wind will howl like a predator searching for prey. But beneath, humans will endure, reshaping themselves into something new, something tougher, something unbreakable. And in quiet corners of these hidden sanctuaries, scientists will keep vigil. Their charts will map the slow decline of the dust cloud, line by fragile line. They will whisper to themselves as they mark the data, the sun will return. Not tomorrow, not next year, but perhaps in 70. The hope will not be in the certainty of light. It will be in the question whispered through every dark chamber: who will survive to see it? Surviving the eternal night will take more than fire, more than food, more than strength. It will take hope. If you were there, what single skill would you cling to the most? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching today's dream from I Dreamed Films. If this vision gripped you, don't let it vanish into the dark. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next survival scenario, because next time, we dream of survival again.